Hello and welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Sue Kramer. Today we're going to be making this fun fold card. Hopefully you can see it there on the side of my video. Let me get myself on my tablet so I can interact with you. That's half the fun of doing live videos. So I'm hoping somebody joins me live and I can answer questions. You can feel free to contact me if you do have questions on my videos. Let's see if I can get this going. Hello, thank you for joining me. I see I have some family members. All right. Oh gosh, 3 of you already. Perfect. And since you are family, we'll start with yesterday. We had a grad party for our 2 sons who graduated from high school and college, and we had a wonderful day, but some family was missing, so that was sad. But the boys had a good time. We had lots of food, and they were playing games in the yard, beautiful weather. So thank you all for your prayers and supporting the boys and our family. So let's get started. Here's where you can find me on YouTube. I'm still working on the Pinterest. You're here on Facebook. I will probably put this on YouTube, so you can find me at the other places. My blog and my website through Stampin' Up! To order any products from Stampin' Up! That you want to order. So this was my first card, and I was just looking at videos on how old this card Fun Fold is and what it's called, and I saw a video from 2 years ago by one of our $1 million sales demonstrators, and she called it the double point because you can see we use designer series paper and there are 2 points. So I don't know, it's just a fun fold. And so I have lots of ideas. 10 minutes ago I was thinking about what I was going to share with you, and I was brainstorming and got lots of ideas, so hopefully I won't ramble too much, but we'll make sure we get a card made today. So the unique thing is the designer series paper, which folds really nice. I don't know that I would try this with these points with cardstock. Cardstock, it's just so sturdy that the designer series paper folds much easier for this one. So this was my first one. I used the Forever Greenery, and then this stamp is actually from the Daisy Lane. The stamp set that goes with this designer series paper doesn't have a fern, and I love that stamp. So that was that one. And then this one, you can see they both have the same sentiment on it. We'll talk about that in a minute. I know I've talked about it before. This one uses products we'll use today in our card. The Ornate Garden designer series paper, and I just pulled my colors right from the paper, and on the back of our paper and in the catalogs and online you'll see what colors they use. Again, it just opens, and you would write your message to the recipient there, but I have another idea. I only used 2 stamps, the Happy Birthday and then the Small Daisy from Daisy Lane. Those were the only 2 stamps I used on this card. Actually, the only 2 here were the fern and the Happy Birthday. So we'll see what we do today. This is the kit that I've talked about in the past. It's an all-inclusive kit called Looking Up, and you get all the products you need. I'm not sure if a block comes with this, but you do get a stamp set, and you get a mini a spot in Bermuda Bay to make all these cards. Let's see if I can find the stamp set real quick, or did I already pull it out? Looks like I pulled it out. But that is where my Happy Birthday that I've been using so much came from, was this kit. It is still available. I don't know if it's on back order. I forgot to check that out. But it's a fun kit with lots of different things to play with. So that's one thing. All right, so that's the stamp set we'll use. So let's get started. So what you need for those points is a piece of designer series paper. From a 12 by 12 piece of designer series paper, you can get these points, I'll leave this here in the picture, for 6 cards. Because you use a piece of designer series paper that's 3 by 4 for each of them. So a 4 by 6, you can get 6 cards. So the numbers are kind of important when you are thinking about what you want to use your designer series paper for. So this one is 8 inches wide, so I've already taken a 4-inch strip off of it. So if you trim it at 4, and it's 12 inches long, and trim it again at 6, so there's a 4 by 6, and you would have 6 of those. So to do our points, we're going to cut this 6 inches down to 3. So that's 4 inches by 3 inches. And then, I don't know if you can tell on either of these, but they would line up. I did cut them just like I did here. So I'll make a point here and a point here, and it would be a continuous pattern. I don't know if I'm making sense, but okay. And so we're going to turn this over. There is a 1-inch strip underneath the white cardstock holding the point piece in place. So I'm going to use my trimmer, make sure I'm not trimming. I'm going to score at 1 inch on the bottom, and this one I want my flap on the top, so I'm going to turn it over and put my 1 inch score mark here. Remember to score and not cut. And that's our trimmer for now. We might need that again. I don't know if you can see. So there's just a 1 inch, and there's a 1 inch here. I can feel them. Anyway, so bone folder. Let's fold that and burnish it. Sorry, any questions? Have you seen this? I know Anne has seen this before at a Maryland Stampers convention or something. I think you were the first one that put me onto this. Let's see. Yeah, Kim, I do like this designer series paper. There's such a variety of colors, and I have yet to use the back side, the single color monochromatic. But you could do there's a lot of possibilities with this, and this is one of the ones we got early. I scored too hard and it ripped. So on this one, I folded my points right on the score line, and it didn't close well, so I added those now retired buttons with the linen thread to hold it shut. So I've learned a little bit there. So I don't want to go all the way to this fold. I'm going to fold it just a hair, maybe 1/16 of an inch. I'm just going to put my finger there and line it up. Again, people aren't going to be looking at your folds. It's just kind of a neat opening to a card. And this one, again, if I do a point all the way, I'm going to go beyond my crease here. So I'm just going to put my thumb there. They don't actually come to a point. It's close enough. I don't know. Not rocket science. It's just a pretty card. So and the reason I'm doing that is so the card will close better, so that my these edges aren't right on the crease. I don't know if you can see, there's like a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch to the crease, to the edge of that paper. I have no idea if I'm making sense. I hope you're understanding. If not, we can do a video together. We can always Zoom or do a Facebook video together if you're trying to do this fold and it's not working. Or try it and you'll learn like I did. How's that? So I'm getting, my thumb is just beyond the crease, making a point, and I burnish it. It's actually a pretty quick card because there's not a lot of stamping. I'm only stamping my sentiment. And all right, so the paper, I just pull the colors the colors in the designer series paper help me decide what color I want my base to be. And so I am going to use Pear Pizzazz, and I have a piece here. I'm going to get my trimmer back out. Do I need that? And so, you know, I cut my paper. I'm going to sound like a broken record for those of you that watch me a lot. So I have pieces 8.5 by 11 cut in half at 5.5, so they're ready to go. So I have a piece here, and I'm just going to cut it in half. So half of 8.5 is 4 1/4, and that is going to be our card base. And my white paper, I know I showed you this last week. I've got my paper all cut and ready to go, and I know I want it 1/4 inch smaller. I'm going to take 2 of these, if I can reach them. One for my layer and then one for my sentiment. And it's pretty much done. So we're going to adhere this. And then, can you see? I hope so. Adhere this. Sorry, I didn't look at more comments. You might be asking questions. And then you adhere that down. Let me look real quick. hello everybody. Thank you for watching. All right. Okay. I think we'll go ahead and adhere that. I think we're ready to do that, and then we'll make it pretty and add our sentiment and all that. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm using our new seal adhesive. I'm just going to put a strip of this on here. Oh, let's see, we did cut this so they lined up. Yeah, well, with the random pattern, at least it's random to me. You see what I'm doing? I'm adhering this not quite in the crease, so I'm lining up this edge here and putting this almost in the crease. And then here, I'm going to put just a little adhesive on each flap. I'll give you a little tip. On the one I made this afternoon, I put a strip of adhesive here, and then when I put these down, I had a little bit of adhesive here, so that's why I'm putting the adhesive on the flaps, so that I don't end up with adhesive where I don't want it, and then I seal our card shut. So again, I'm going to line up this edge with that edge and almost put it in the crease. Burnish it down, put adhesive on our flaps. Adhere those down. Now, there's our, it's coming up. It's trying to do things differently so that it does stay down, but we can work with that. All right, I'll get the burn. Clean up as I go, and then I don't have such a mess to clean up. Because I have everything pre-cut, I just have to adhere this. We use our regular seal. I think that'll work. I think there's right and wrong way, so when I burnish that down. Now, the piece that, we can talk about the piece that's in the middle. So this, I use die cuts from our Stampin' Cut and Emboss Stitched Nested Labels dies. This is what they look like. I don't know which ones I use, but you can make this as big or as small as you want. It just needs to come beyond these 2 points so that it looks like they overlap. And then I wanted to show you this option without dies, and I just cut one of these, which is a quarter of a sheet, in half. Then I rounded the corners and punched with this triple punch. You've seen that before. I was just brainstorming and thought, well, what else can we do? If you don't have dies in a die cut machine, something a little different than that. We could use the Stitched Nest labels. And I think the largest oval, yes, would be big enough to use. Then you'd see a lot of white. And when you write your card, you'd have to be careful not to write here. Oh, that would be cool. And it fits perfectly. That's the largest square. So I thought you could even use a few of these. If you don't have one that's big enough, you could put 2 together. I think maybe let me show you what I'm talking about. If you use, this is one of our newer Lovely Labels punch. So one of these, that's punch 2. So one of these is not quite big enough, but you could overlap 2 of them. And then what I would do is take another one, either the same one or another label, another punch, and put that in the middle. I don't know if I'm making sense. So I would put the sentiment here over the top. You could line those up even. That would be interesting. And then your sentiment could cover up the seam here. And that's an option. If you don't have dies, you could use punches. My other idea, okay, and then the Tasteful labels, there's lots of labels that would in here. These are newer ones that are in the annual catalog. So that would work. If you die cut that, you could put something on there, the bigger one. So lots of options. Play with what you have, either dies or punches, or just a piece of cardstock. You could even use another piece of the designer series paper for that overlay. But I think what we're going to do today, I die cut, if I can find it. I used our Wild Rose dies and my die cut machine. I used this piece. So I think we're going to put this on here. Might be a little busy, but I think once we add our sentiment, maybe a flower, I don't know. Okay. Is that going to work? What do you think? I'll let you decide. Should we use the die or the punches? I think the punches might be something different. Let's do that. Since I talked about it and I don't know that I was explaining myself very well. So if I put this about in the middle, and I'm only going to adhere, I'm going to use our stronger seal, our Seal Plus, because this is going to get, so I'm going to guess where I want my adhesive to be. I'm going to line this up so those straight edges look continuous here. So I'm going to put my fingers here, and we only have this tiny little space that is going to have adhesive. Hopefully it won't come off. You can see I put some adhesive there beyond. I'm just going to tuck it back on there. So I'm going to again hold these so they meet in the middle. Alright, I'm going to push that down and burnish it. Put this away, clean up as I go. Then I'm also going to adhere these together right here. This is regular seal. I'm going to line those up. Alright, so there's our card so far. Looks kind of sloppy with that in the middle. So what we're going to do is use our other lovely label, and I can't remember, one is fancy and one is, I don't know. I could look it up if you want, or if one of you want to look up in your catalog if you have it handy. They're lovely label punch, and I don't know. They're current in the annual catalog. This was our other quarter sheet of paper. What color do we want it to be? We'll just use Bumblebee. It's one of our newer ones. All right. This stamp I'm using is a photopolymer. So I'm going to put this mat underneath. And I was playing around earlier when I stamped this. Because my stamp pad was juicy, I did not put this underneath. So I guess if you're having trouble with photopolymers, add a cushion underneath. You may not always need it, but that's my tip. Try it first, and if you're having trouble, that looks good. There's our happy birthday from that kit. I'm going to put my ink away. Again, I stamped first so I can center this in my punch. I'm looking top to bottom, like right to left, and I want that straight line to be even with that straight line. So just take my time and line it up. There's some garbage. All right, so we're actually going to use some, I think we'll use some dimensionals on the back of this. Let's see. Okay, I can put them all over. I usually get nervous if I haven't made the actual card we're going to make together, but the last minute I was inspired. I'm like, let's try something different. And our products all coordinate. That's what I like about the designer series paper. They tell us what colors are in there. And if I just have those handy, I can usually make something very pretty. All right, that's kind of plain. Let's dress it up a little. This part I don't have planned. I need a drink of water. Thank you. Love me fancy, label me fancy, and label me lovely. Their names, I don't know if people who come up with the names for things actually use them. It's like where I live. Hold on. I live on a cul-de-sac called Spring Hill Draw, and we are off of Spring Hill Drive. I always say whoever named our streets doesn't live here. So anyway, that's my funny for the day. So I thought we'd introduce something different, and this is the, I think it's called the Butterfly Duet Punch. And we're going to introduce either purple or blue, Gorgeous Grape or Pacific Point. I haven't decided yet. Again, the same scrap, so we only needed half a sheet of paper. Stamps. Alright, so while I'm figuring this out, and let's use this one. It's a little more modern. Well, which one goes? Maybe this one. Let me get the stamp and start stamping first, and then I'll explain. So anybody who has left a comment on this video by Friday, so several of you have already, thank you. Just to get some more interaction with you, I'm going to send you a card kit, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. I need a block. Oh, stuck to the table. So I think Kim, you might be the only one whose address I don't have right now. Everybody else, hello everybody. The rest of you I know. So Kim, if you want to personal message me your address, I'll send you a card kit. Everybody else, I have yours so far. So by Friday, leave a message or a comment, and I will send you a card kit to make a card similar to this. I can't send stamped images, so I'm hoping that you'll have either a stamp or a sticker that you can add your sentiment, or find a way that you may not want to stamp sentiment on there, and you could do your own thing with what I send you. What do we think? Blue or purple? I'm not sure what I'm thinking. Let's try blue. We'll put the purple away. And I want to stamp twice to give you generations, so it's... How are we doing on time? I know my family always tries to stay off the internet for me. So there's one. And there's second generation. Oh, look how different they are. It's fascinating. It's just ink, but the difference in those blues, I'll bring it up closer to the camera. So I stamped this without re-inking. So that Pacific Point and that Pacific Point second generation is what we call it. So I think I'm going to use those. So you stamp first and then you line it up in your punch. And I can't line up and talk at the same time, so bear with me. There we are. It's all lined up. Punch those out. And then we're going to put this one down here to hold it in place. Let's get some little dimensionals back. Those are big ones. Okay. So I'm going to go on, leave it off this wing. Put dimensionals here, and this will hold like that first one I showed you with the Forever Greenery. It'll hold our flap down. You know me, I can't talk and take liners off dimensionals at the same time. I can babble, but I can't really tell you anything. Okay, so I have dimensionals on the bottom. I'm going to put that there. You know, I think we're going to put this on the inside. We're going to use a glue dot to keep it flat. So there's my glue dot. I'm going to put this right on there and push down. When I pick it up, it's on the back of my butterfly. And we'll put it down here. He's kind of cute there. Now here. Alright, so there's our card, and this tucks underneath. Let's add some gems. These are the gilded gems, also with the Ornate Garden Suite, which I have in the center of this flower. And I have two Take Your Pick tools. I just don't know where they both are. Hold on. I have to walk across the room. It's not that far. It's like 4 feet. Alright, we need some gems to liven this up. So this Designer Series paper is a specialty paper because there are, I think it's gold on some of the pieces. There. That finishes it off. So, the card kit I'm going to send those of you that comment in... Let me clean up a little bit. Get some of this stuff out of the way. Put it in my basket. Alright. So here's the Designer Series paper. So you've seen two of the patterns already in these cards. It's a floral print. But there are some monochromatic. This one is gold and old olive. On the back side is the floral print. And these are some of the other ones. But what I'm going to send you will either be... hold on, let me dig down in this pile. I already have some of it cut. Oh, I'll tell you this and then we'll go back to our card because I had another idea. So I will send you a piece of, and this one is mint macaron with gold, if you can see. So I'll send you 2 card liner, well, we'll call it a card base because in this case it is the base. And then the 2 white pieces, one for the layer. Let me talk here. So I'll send you a piece for the back and a piece that you can design your card with a punch or a die or even just trim a piece of paper. So 2 pieces of green and then 2 pieces of white for those and a piece of designer series paper that you can use there. So it'll either be this mint macaron with the gold or old olive with the gold. And I think what I'm going to send you, because I can send punches, I can't send stamped images, like this card, I'll send you some white daisies. Let's see if I have my white handy. And I'll give you some ideas on... So I'm going to send you thick whisper white, so you can, there's more options when I give you thick cardstock. Let me give you one idea. So you can, I'll probably send you 3 small and 2 large like I have on this one. And then what you can do if you don't want a white daisy, which I love white daisies, maybe you want a color on your card because it's going to be mint or old olive, you can take an ink pad of any color, your favorite color, and then use a sponge. A paper towel would do, your finger if you really want to be messy, and you can color the edges of these white daisies that I'll send you. Let's bring that paper back. Here, let's do another one here. I think I have a minute or 2. So thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. I've gotten some good feedback about my videos lately, so thank you for that feedback. Knowing what I do now, I will continue these. It's been really fun. So either that or that, and then you can create your daisy. I don't know, either one of those would work. So I'm going to send you white, and then you can create whatever color ink you have. You can make your daisy that color. So, and, oh, I should have stamped the envelope. So my other idea, my last idea, if you're still with me, I can find my cards here. Let's see if I have it. Oh, I have to, let me just grab another one because I know I already have one here. My other idea, my last idea, if you have a lot you want to write to your recipient of this card, let's clean up a little better. Okay. You could always fold another card base. Okay, I didn't fold that very well, did I? I'm trying to hurry. I don't know why I hurry. I like shorter videos myself. Half an hour is about my limit. If it's longer than that, I'm usually stamping with them. So my other idea is this. So this card, you only have a small amount of space to write on. Tuck that back under. So my other idea is put it on another card base, and you can have it open that way. I had one that was folded the other way, which I thought would have been really fun. Bear with me one more minute. Any questions for me today? Or anything I can help you with? And where did it go? Maybe I cut it. You know what? I'm going to cut another one. So questions. I'm glad you like my videos, Kim. Thank you. And you know I didn't come up with this myself. So one of these days I am going to come up with some original idea. I'll surprise myself. But this one I've seen around a lot. So this one I cut the other direction. I cut it at 4 1/4 and I left it 11 inches long. I thought this might actually go better with this card design. So if it opens on the bottom, you put it on there. It opens this way, and you can write a small message. You could stamp something else, I don't know. And then it would open this way for your card, and people would be able to stand it up that way. Does that make sense? So you could put this card on another card base is what I'm saying. But this is, I'll send you the designer series paper, 2 pieces of white and 2 pieces of green, and the daisy punch. So I'll probably send a gilded gem for the middle of your daisy as well. So thank you for joining me. Yeah, and I worked hard to come up with a twist on the cards, especially adding the card base. I thought that was good. Somebody did have a punch down on this and to hold it shut. So let me know what other questions you have. Thank you for your help with reminding me of the names of those punches. They're so similar, I can never remember which is which. So thank you for joining me. Happy stamping. And I'll bring these cards back. Let me know if you have questions or if you have any requests. I do take requests. Happy stamping. Take care. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy. And I'll be back with you next Monday. And I don't know what that's going to be yet. So, stay tuned. Next Monday, 7:30 Central Time. Thank you for joining me. Bye.